So I just have this huge advantage coming in that whether I'm fresh, tired, sore, I only know how to snatch a bar one way.
Would you advise a young person, if you ran into someone, they say, I want to be a CrossFit champion, would you say get into Olympic lifting first?
I don't think it's necessary to do like pure dedicated Olympic weightlifting first. I think it's a necessity to do pure dedicated Olympic weightlifting and doing it properly. Because so many times you'll see people like, oh, what's your workout today? Oh, it's work up to a heavy single. It's like, whoa, what? You're not working off percentages. You're not building up to.
Explain that to people, what you mean.
Like,
because a lot of people are like, what the fuck is he talking
yeah,
about?
I mean, like a lot of people just like, if you're trying to bench 315, you don't just go into the gym every single day and take a whack at benching 315. It's like you start at a lower number and doing a shitload of reps, and then you're tapering, you're cutting down the volume, you're increasing the weight, you're working off percentages to build up to that heavy single. So, I mean, like when I did weightlifting, I mean, you're working most of the time between 70-80% of your max lifts, just dialing in that technique and like making sure you know how to move with weight. And I remember coming into CrossFit with my background, I'm like, wait, you guys are just going heavy every day? Like that's not smart. That's how your body's going to break down. You're not learning how to move this weight properly.
Right.
And so, I mean, it was a huge advantage coming in with my background. Not only knowing how to move the weights in those specific lifts, but then even like with the kipping movement on like for pull-up bars or muscle ups, it's like I know how to move my body by using my hips. Like I'm getting that pop out of my hips to get up over the bar. And so I just knew how to move a little bit more efficiently. And so it was a huge advantage coming in.
Do you think it's better, because it seems to me that if you came in with a strong cardio base, like as a triathlete or something like that, that it would be harder to put the strength on versus someone like you comes in with a strong muscle base, a strong power base.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it would make more sense that you would be able to develop cardio easier than they would be able to develop strength.
I think there is some truth to that.
Because it's hard to develop strength while you're doing the heavy cardio, right? You could maintain strength, but if you're doing a lot of long distance running and shit like that, you don't.
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've continued to hit strength number PRs throughout my career.
Right, but you already have this base.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's one thing that they always say, if you're someone who gets into marathon running or something like that, like you lose a lot of strength. You lose gains.
Is that just like atrophy of?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would wonder if it's that or if it's just the fact that you're doing this one particular thing where your body's like, hey, we got to get lighter. This motherfucker likes running long distances.
I think that would be it. I would, if I were a betting man, I would say it's easier to build the cardio side of it versus the weightlifting, because I think there's more aspects that go into the weightlifting, because there's the strength, the flexibility, the technique, the coordination. There's a lot of things. Whereas like for me to build cardio, it's like I just get on an air bike and start hammering away.
Right.
There's not much technique going on there.
Now, was air bike your main source of cardio exercise?
For me, it was rowing, like the Concept 2 rower. And it was just like I showed up, one of the first competitions I did, or like anytime it showed up in like the class workout in the gym, I just got my doors blown off by everyone on the rower. And so I was like, okay, like if I want to get better, I have to figure out this machine. And so Concept 2 is actually based in Vermont. So a lot of their employees went to the same gym as me. And I'm in the back rowing one day, and one of the main employees comes back and he's like, stop what you're doing. You're so bad at this. Let me show you the technique of how to do this.
What were you doing wrong?
Everything. I mean, it was just like I was throwing my shoulders back first movement, pushing like so leg dominant. I'm pulling with my arms early. And it's like you want to extend your legs first, then your back, and then follow through with your arms. So it sounds so simple, but like when you're in the movement, it's just like you're thinking of 100 different things at once.
Mm-hmm.
And
so that sequence is just to be more efficient, so you go longer and further.
Yeah, I think it's a very unnatural feeling, because like for me, it's like my quads are my most dominant muscle, so I want to use that the most for the pull. And it's like no, like you want to hinge, just like a clean, like you extend your legs first and then your back, you know, like you want to stay over the bar. It's the same with the rower. But I think it was probably a good dose of like, I worked on it a little bit. I saw the results. And so I got that gratification of like, oh, I like this now. Like, you know, I worked a little bit on it, got a little dose of that, like, feel good of like, all right, you're getting better, keep working. And so then I use the rower the most out of any of the tools. The bike, I mean, no one likes the bike.
That thing sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
So brutal.
And especially if, like, the bigger you are, the better. Just because, like, you can manhandle that machine. But I'm like 5'6". Like, the handles are like up here for me. It's not fun.
What do you weigh? Like, what did you weigh when you were at your peak?
Usually for a competition, I would walk in like low mid 190s. So like usually right around 195, give or take. But in training, sometimes I'd blow up to like a little bit over 200. And my weightlifting would get awesome. And then sometimes my body weight would drop to like in the 180s. My gymnastics would be awesome. But the nice happy medium for everything was like mid 190s.
And so, like, when you're doing things like running, like, 'cause, there's some events where you have to run distance, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine, like, you're built like a bowling ball. You're not.
Yeah.
When you
I
jack like that,
do
it's
not
not
have running legs.
No.
But
you have power lifter legs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's I mean, I've put in a ton of time and I've worked with a lot of great people.